The small town of Menifee has a unique problem on its hands. Its police department can't write any speeding tickets for the next year. This all comes after an audit found that the town had over half its revenue coming from traffic violations. As THV 11's Ian Russell found out, it's a hazy answer to find out who's at fault.
A population of 302, but $120,000 in revenue from traffic citations. The chief of police says that doesn't tell the whole story, but a prosecutor now saying the department can't write tickets for a year. Blink and you'll miss the town of Menifee. Sitting between the parallels of highways 64 and 40, it may seem like just any other town, but there's more than meets the eye.
Clearly, they were writing substantially more tickets than other communities kind of similar sized.
Tom Tatum, the prosecuting attorney for the 15th district, was the one who audited the city's 2020 revenue. Arkansas state law says no more than 30% of a city's revenue can come from traffic citations.
Nearly 20% over that 30% threshold. And so clearly they were writing too many tickets.
Over $120,000 was collected, so whose fault is that? Well, that depends on who you ask.
When I hired him, I said, we can't write tickets 10 miles and under, but yet these guys was writing tickets 10 miles and under.
Menifee Mayor Gary Green is frustrated and fed up. He says it's Police Chief John Randall's fault, someone he doesn't have kind words for.
Because to me, he's incompetent. To me.
The only reason why I would see he's got harsh words is because I'm enforcing the laws that's in Menifee.
Randall wasn't at the police station, so we called him. He says the audit doesn't tell the whole story, saying that money collected came from uncollected dues and fees from years before 2020.
And when they went to court, the judge set them up on a payment plan. Well, they didn't pay their fine off until 2020. Well, it looks like we brought in a large amount of money just for that year.
So we requested a record of tickets given from January 1st, 2018 to August 24th in Menifee. In that time, one officer issued 771 tickets. The next closest, just 263 tickets, almost 3 times less. And according to that data, there were 0 warnings given by officers during that time, something Randall says he encouraged officers to do when he took over as chief. As for whose fault that is, there is one person who says it's theirs, City Alderman Derek Hammond. Hammond told me Chief Randall was given permission from the mayor and city council to go after past due and unpaid tickets, and that those tickets were written by officers who no longer work for the city. Hammond says it was their responsibility to make sure that was handled lawfully, but that they as a council failed to make sure that happened.
You know, in a year from now, we can get things back to normal for them.
In Menifee, Ian Russell, THV 11 News.
Ian, thank you. Menifee joins Damascus in getting prohibited from writing speeding tickets. That city in neighboring Faulkner County went 19 months under sanctions for its illegal speed traps on US 65.
So when city governments are caught red-handed for pulling over too many people, you might think justice is served. But as THV 11's Ian Russell shows us, there's a delicate balance between keeping people safe and not abusing power.
Mayor Gary Green has seen a lot during his time running the town of Menifee, but nothing like what he's dealt with the past few months.
It's really a downfall, and it's going to hurt the city. It's going to hurt us a lot. We always had this stigma as a speed trap in the first place. Now we got it stamped on us.
We first told you back in August about how Menifee, a city with less than 300 people, was caught violating the state's speed trap law. Under that law, no city can have more than 30% of its annual revenue come from traffic citations. Robert Steinbuck, a professor at the Bowen School of Law, says it takes a lot to even come close to doing that.
Municipalities shouldn't be earning the bulk of their income from speeding tickets. Speeding tickets are supposed to be a method to enforce safe driving.
In Menifee's case, they collected $120,000 in 2020. That's nearly half of the city's revenue for the year.
You abuse your ability to give out tickets and you use it for revenue enhancement, and then the law says, guess what? Now you don't get any revenue from it for a year. 1
year of the city not allowed to issue speeding tickets, something that can hit these smaller towns hard.
It is scary because we don't know what emergency might arise that we might need that revenue. We don't know yet.
Menifee may be the most recent city to break our state's speed trap law, but there's another city that comes to mind when you think speed trap, Damascus. And here, the city is still dealing with the consequences of breaking that law.
Go ahead and call me, Gary. It's going to be a tough ride for the next year or two.
Terry Jones is a new mayor left dealing with an old problem. In 2018, Damascus broke the state speed trap law. 4 years later, and the impacts are still lingering. The city had to divert money from other departments to scrape by, and even worse.
We went from a police force of 4 down to 0. We're back up to 1.
Like Menifee, Damascus has a busy road running through the middle of town. Mayor Jones is quick to point out that they never meant to break the law. They were just trying to keep their people safe.
There's no need to blow through the town going 65, 70 miles an hour when it's stated 45 miles an hour all the way through town.
With his city left dealing with the consequences and seeing others held accountable as well, Jones is hopeful for change.
I'm not saying it's a bad law, but it's one of those that hurts smaller towns over larger municipalities.
That's because these smaller towns have smaller budgets, making them more likely to hit that 30% threshold.
We have no other place to get revenue. And all small towns are basically in that same environment. We have a small pool to pull from.
It's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. We haven't felt it yet, but we will. Even if we don't feel it next year, the year after.
Ian Russell, THV 11 News.
The mayor of Damascus says when they were on probation, the town asked state police and the county sheriff's office to run those patrols.
But since those officers don't live in town, he says that often led to longer response times.